Talent has a home in Africa, in Nigeria, and most especially in Jos City, the capital of Plateau State. Are you talking about the people, the teeming talents, the food, the culture, the arts, the beautiful scenery, amazing rocks, flatlands, highlands? We got all of it here in Jos City, a very cosmopolitan and heterogeneous. Here we promote the beautiful, the fantastic, the fabulous, the amazing people, places, food, arts, culture, and whatever it is that concerns Plateau State and beyond. We make it trend globally on Just Creatives on Peruse, Jcops. Without further ado, let's get to meet our amazing guests for today. So today I have with me in the studio a gospel artist whose journey into the world of music officially began in 2014, and talking about Neken Chuang. Nice to meet you, Mr. Neken. Welcome to Jcops.
Nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
All right. And also, we have Yaron Zaki. I mean, when you hear a name like this and then you see the size of the person, it kind of makes you wonder, you know, these people that they call big engine, but they're actually kind of smallish in stature, so it's good to meet you, Yaron Zaki, who is known as Kespan Maxwell Gimba, but known as Yaron Zaki. So how'd you come about that name, Yaron Zaki? I mean, Zaki is a lion, yeah?
Yeah, because my father is the Lion of the tribe of Judah. That's how I got the name.
Oh, great. Amazing.
Name
okay.
came from a slogan, so to speak, in a song.
Okay.
Yaron Zaki Zakini.
Ah.
So son of the lion is the lion.
Was that a song by you?
Yep.
Wow, what inspired that?
Yeah, I needed to fight like a lion. I needed to be bold. I needed to remember who my father is and never, give in. So, yep, it's a spiritual warfare song, and it gave birth to that name, Once I released it, a lot of people started to call me Yaron Zaki. Yeah.
And that fit right in with you.
Yup.
Interesting. So welcome once again. Good to have you. So can we get to know you? How was your life growing up? What type of family did you come from? Who were your childhood heroes? Who discovered your talent and all of that? Let's start with you, Mr. Niken.
Yes, Niken.
Niken.
So I was thinking you start with Kespan.
Yeah.
But all the same, for me, growing up was fun. I grew up to a clergy dad. Yeah, my dad is a clergy, and his wife, who was also deliberate about ministry, but hers was more in the music angle. So she loved music. She currently has 2 albums to her name.
Interesting.
Yes, and a couple of videos. One video album. So I grew up to a family that were deliberate about the Lord, and they were deliberate about music. So there are things like kids praise. There was music all around the house, and there was music all around the church. So I can't specifically pinpoint to, I'll say this was when I knew I loved music, or this was when I started music. I grew up into music.
Okay, my side of the story is very different from my brother's. Because, I grew up, my father was a teacher, and I'm like the first generation musician in my family. Like, I didn't grow up inheriting anything.
Interesting.
Yeah, so maybe it runs somewhere in the blood, like from
recessively, then it just reappeared in you, yeah?
Yeah, but I grew up as a lover of music generally, and dad loves music as well, so I would listen to like all the songs he brings home, and I would, learn them. And yeah, eventually I could learn a lot of like gospel Christian songs. And whenever
is that what you were exposed to?
I think so. Because
were your parents particularly religious?
Not religious, but they're Christians.
Alrighty.
Okay, if that makes sense. So then I think the gospel music kind of like gave me a platform, because I started high school, and there's always this opportunity to do a special number in church or in chapel. So like I wanted to just, sing all the songs that I know, So yeah, and then I received prophecies. Oh, you're gonna be a great musician, because they thought I have a great voice, So I didn't know what prophecies were or anything, but I just know that one day I woke up and I just wanted to sing.
So what was what is your first memories of singing? Do you recall the
I was
first
6 years
time?
old.
6 years
I was
old.
singing to my dog.
I mean, you're a lover of dogs, so you sang to your dog for the first time. How lucky that dog is to have heard your voice. He's the first person to have heard your voice for the first time. But then again, maybe people are getting to hear for the first time also that the first person or the first thing you sang to was your dog. And I guess we'll say shout out to all dog lovers and animal lovers out there.
The name was Tiger, but we called him Tiga, as the accent could be like Hausa. I grew up in the Hausa community, and I started singing Tiga Tegu, Tiga Tegu, will you go to spring?
Amazing.
Yeah, that's how far I can remember.
All right. How about you, Nekan?
I didn't sing for my dog. If that's what you're asking.
So what are your first memories of singing?
Yeah, so for me, at a tender age, I told my parents I wanted to be in the choir. And it was kind of strange because in the community I was in, there was no child. It was like an adult thing.
How is it possible you're in a community where there's no child?
In a choir.
Every day we wake up, there are goals to meet, shots to shoot, and challenges to handle. Amidst the daily tussle to achieve our daily goals and make money, we often forget to take a break to refuel our energy tanks. That is why having a bottle of Yoreti yogurt beside you as you set out to work is essential, so that whenever your energy levels go down, you can trust Yoreti to the task. It's tasty, rich and creamy. Yoreti yogurt. Experience great taste today.
I'll say for me, this is more or less a gift from God, because I was easily catching up with things that a child will naturally find quite difficult. I can remember a choir convention we went to. They were trying to teach one of the parts, either soprano or alto. They were trying to teach something, and I grasped it first. And they told the adults to learn from me. Wow. It was crazy.
How was that? How did you feel?
I was scared though. I'm like, let this uncle.
Did you get the bad eyes, or did you get the loving looks?
So some will be like, this small child. So
where was that happening in any case? Where was the setting?
That was in Gwagwalada.
Okay.
In Abuja. Yes, the convention was in Garki. I won't forget. So I will say I picked up on music very easily. So it was something that everyone just had to accept, that this is natural. This is a calling. Yeah. So I did that from the choir, and then when I went to secondary school, BSS Gindri, there's what they call Festival of Arts and Culture, Festac. So I got to be given special positions like special roles such as singing and solo singing. I led a song on the small choir, the large choir. Music just came with ease for me, and I loved doing it. So I believe over the years, all these platforms contributed to help me realize more and more that it's a gift, until 2014, when I was sure that I wanted to officially launch out as an artist with a song, to release it out there. And when you're releasing a song, there's that fear. Will they like it? Will they not like it? What will come? So it was around that time that I finally got the courage to do that, and the rest is history.
I was listening to virtually every music that Dad would bring home, which includes like Bob Marley, Pineapple, Ananka. And of course, if you're a child during my time and you don't love...
What time is that?
Like,
why are you sounding so ancient?
I mean,
the 90s.
Everyone loves Michael Jackson. And yeah, when I became like a teenager, I wanted to listen to Eminem, R. Kelly and stuff.
Busta Rhymes.
Well, I know all those guys like Ja Rule, Busta Rhymes, yeah, of course, but like all the guys like were trending,
Yeah.
I think I can say that I'm just a lover of music genre. I decided to go with people like R. Kelly and Eminem. But if you listen to me, you probably wouldn't have any connection to these guys, maybe when I rap. Yes, but later I had to drop them. I just wanted to learn from everyone, like every piece that I could.
Taking as much as you could.
Yeah, especially because listening to the music that Dad was bringing home when I was much younger. I mean, there are just different genres, from traditional to Western to whatever.
So it was diverse for you.
Yeah, so when I found that I could compose music, I just want to do all of it, you know? Like all the style, I just want to just explore.
So we hear of composers, right? What does it mean to compose music?
Compose music or compose, you know,
Or
you can
compose a
music
song.
as
Is it the writing of it, or is it the whole? I mean, we hear someone is a composer. Most times, though, you see them with the orchestra.
Yeah.
That's the idea I have of a composer.
Yeah, I get what you mean. But here in Africa, it's kind of different because, like, composing music, composers are like people who read music and they could write music. You know what I mean?
Did they write in music?
That way, in the professional,
In musical notes?
yes, like
Okay.
yeah, like
But in Africa, what does it mean to be a composer then?
you know, composer. You know what? What I feel is composition doesn't necessarily have to do with melody.
Okay.
You know, you could be a composer by writing. That's what I feel, because most Africans don't write and read music in that sense. You know, they just compose songs and lyrics, and they flow just naturally with the rhythm and everything. So yeah, it depends.
That's interesting. You just said something really interesting. That is the way that Africans understand music in some way is not, or the way music comes to us is not the same way it happens in other places.
Yeah, because
Is this something you've observed, or is it just with you?
Of course, I mean, people go to school to study music nowadays,
As opposed
University
to
of Jobs.
naturally.
Yes, but I'll tell you what, Africans are not better than, you know, they're better at just improvising. That's my own opinion. 'Cause
Improvising.
I believe that composition is largely the result of what one is exposed to. So if I grow in a society where I don't even know that there's anything called school, but then from my natural gifting, I grow to be able to put words together, melody together, put them together and be a blessing to people, that's me composing in my space. And I believe that me within that setting is doing as much as someone who grows in a society where he's exposed to school and he gets to read whatever and he's composing from that consciousness of the knowledge he's obtained. So for me, I believe everyone has their expression in their context.
Yeah.
And in any of this context, it's composition. So I don't think one is superior to the other. School is good, knowledge is good, but then wherever you find yourself, you're composing in your own space.
All right, Nick,
Yes,
and so
that's my thoughts.
who are your influences? Who are the people you listen to?
Amazingly, for me, it started from home. So dad and mom were the first set of influencers. Dad taught me the first chords on the guitar. Yes, and it was his guitar I used to start playing. So yes, dad was the first. Mom also taught me how to maybe sing through parts. So at a tender age, when I hear a soprano singing, I could at least guess 60-70% what the alto should sound like.
So what range do you sing on?
For me, I'm more around the treble.
Okay.
Yes, I'm more around the treble because I'm scared of high notes.
How about you,
Yeah.
Kespan, Yaronzaki? What range do you sing on?
So I tell you honestly,
Honestly.
because sometimes when I get very low, a lot of people are like, okay, is it the same person?
Yes, well,
But I think I normally sing. What do you think we
soprano,
can?
probably soprano.
Yeah,
Soprano.
alto.
You do very well on the high notes.
okay, and you do well on those mid
notes.
too.
Yeah, I enjoy myself.
All right. Well, definitely, we know that you've had many interviews, but today we want to get to know you, a little more closer. You guys have been inspirations to many people. So why do you think people listen to your music? Yaron Zaki.
Interesting question. I think I have more power on, like putting together my lyrics than even melody. I think.
Okay. So you think you're a great composer than a singer? Is that what you're saying?
Not in that way. I think the most powerful in my music is the words in it. I think
The content of
the content, not just the melody. Of course, a lot of people say I have a great voice, and yeah.
So what genre of music do you sing?
Okay. Another difficult question.
It's ta-ta-ta, we're going like you asked.
Yeah. I do a lot of fusion. But then I have a music that I have created. There's
Alright.
nothing completely that is new. But I have this instrument that I invented, and then the music that comes with it.
All right.
You know, so it's definitely something new that you can single out of 1,000 other music, you know.
So tell us about that. What was the instrument called?
The instrument is called Kaiz, K-A-I-S-Z. And
Kaiz.
the more
And you
traditional
invented
name is-
that word?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the more traditional-
name is Sudo. Sudogo in Mogogo.
Sudo.
Dogo.
Sudogo.
Sounds, like piercing sound, but it's kind of like a direct translation, you know? Because if you're going to put it in the language, like it's a very long sentence.
Okay.
So, but then, yeah, I call the music, the genre of music, Vulasia.
Vulasia.
Vulasia. Like
Vulasia.
yeah, it has a lot of...
So the instrument is first called a kaiser.
Kaiz.
A kaiz. Okay. So what does this instrument look like? What does it sound like?
It's traditional.
What is it made of?
Like a calabash.
Okay.
I started with a calabash, but now it's not a calabash. But it's from the same family as calabash.
Does it look like a kora? I know there's kora
Yes,
music
kind
in
of.
West Africa that you
Kind of,
hear.
yes.
You
Yes.
know, most of the Malians are Senegalese. I know
Yeah.
there's a calabash and there's some strings.
Something like that.
Oh, okay. So are we able, is it just strictly for you, or are other people, is it going to be available for other people to use this instrument if they wish?
I've been playing it for a long time. I still feel like there's a lot to be done on it. And
So it's something that's still in the process of invention.
no, well, I wouldn't say, because like you can improve on it. But in itself, I think it's good to go because
For you.
people are also learning it already, you know? So it's not just me.
Is it a stringed instrument?
string instrument?
How many strings?
Mainly 3. So, but then I put up 5 sometimes. But the other strings are like lower octave of the others. So
So you still haven't answered. What genre of music do you sing?
Vulasia. But then I don't sing one.
One genre.
Nah.
Okay, so give us the range of genres you can
the-
walk through.
Probably the most popular genre, like rock,
Rock. Interesting.
R&B, rap,
Okay.
all those stuff, you know.
It's not secular, it's not gospel.
Well, it depends on your definition of what secular is and what gospel is. But I'm a gospel musician.
Okay.
So if your definition of secular, you know, secular has different definitions. I think about anything good. If that
Okay.
makes sense.
Well, some people would say that if it is good, it is encouraging, but it does not have the message of the gospel, then it is not gospel.
Well, perception.
Perception. So, but your perception is different. That's all you're saying.
Okay,
You're allowed to
I'm
have
going
your
sound-
perception.
I'm going to sound like someone now, and it's going to be a little bit like, okay.
Well, sound the way you should
I
sound.
feel
Uh-huh.
a musician is a musician.
Okay.
Yes. I feel I'm a musician and I also play my experience. So I'm not just functioning in church as a Christian. Music is a talent, it's not a spiritual gift.